Alright guys, this is Stallzy and welcome back to another BOTB video. This one is on the new dream car picture and also a lot of tips and tricks I hope to include in this video. Some things which I not necessarily want to disclose, but I think these things will really bring some new BOTB winners. And yeah, if it doesn't help me, then it will help someone else. And okay, so I had a pretty harsh comment in one of my YouTube sections, in my little jokey video clip from my live stream of roasting the BOTB judges. Some guy said, after this video we will now not be going where you think the ball is. Well, for the first thing, like, it's not where I think the ball is usually in my first video, but if you watch the 2-hour live stream or nearly 3-hour live stream that I did, you'll see that's pretty much the area I've actually played, and I can show you for full transparency. And also I'm really, I might even win this week. These are the coordinates I played. It's for the up GTI. These are mostly all for the up GTI and for the GT4. I've gone low 1100s pretty much with the Y and 1200 area with the X after going through the live stream, and that's kind of what our average was. My personal points are actually a bit more lower, but I'm going to trust the live stream. So Cam's community live stream was pretty much the same on the X, a little bit higher, and the Gujarati was in the middle of both of us. I think Cam's Y was 1063, Gujarati was 1090, and mine is about 1100 to 1120 or 1130 area. So okay. Anyway, onto the new picture. One thing I found pretty funny was the Lamborghini Urus, or Lamborghini Urus, is on the homepage, yet it's not in the headlights car. So usually it's like the cars are in the headlights, but the topic is British beauties. As you can see, they're all British cars. Granted, the Aston Martin has a Mercedes V8 in it, I think. I'm not sure about the Range Rover and Jaguar. Obviously these are both basically owned by the same group, and Morgan are like their own thing. I don't really know many people who are into Morgans, but do you? I've already opened the new picture here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two different methods, and I'm going to do my kind of one of my tried and testers, which is going on Google Chrome, full screen the picture, draw some red lines. And then I'm going to show you my new method, which involves a bit of pen and paper. Well, in this case, I'm not actually going to be using any pen, but it's going to be paper and a coin. And I'm going to be showing you some of the previous pictures and this picture, so we can kind of do a bit of machine learning type stuff, but like I say, in a human. We could also do this with the target in Photoshop, and that might be something I do in a future video or in a live stream. And potentially I might even print off the picture with my, well, not print off the picture, but maybe just put it into Google Chrome, like load the picture once I've saved it with the target and check my line trick works. So yeah, that's a strategy, but like I say, I'm pretty confident with my points on this picture. As you can see, I've got loads of little yellow dots here. Diagonal cluster, diagonal cluster. There's a big gap in the middle, so I'm just kind of hoping it goes to one side. So yep, hopefully you don't mind me rambling, but as I say, there's a ton of information in this video. If you don't watch it, then that's your problem, I guess. I'm not going to make the video super short. I'm really like trying to do my best here. So okay, so let's load the picture. We right click and go inspect and go sources, BOTB, Umbraco, right click and open this in a new tab. I'm going to control and then scroll in to zoom the picture in a bit. That looks fine. And then I use light shot, the screenshotting tool, to do this. So first of all, right, with red, doesn't really matter too much. Could change the colours, but can't actually see where that one's going. but we'll just guess it's like that. And we'll do the mouth and ear trick. Talk about. Maybe it would have been easier because like I can't actually see his eye now, but take a guess. And say that, and then with his mouth, something like that. We actually got a pretty good area. And then with this guy, it's looking quite clear that he's looking this way, and there. I'm not sure if that's too close on the X, or if that looks good. And then we'll do the ear and mouth on him. So he's actually, his eyes from here, from the ear, are actually looking more like this. And then his mouth. Like, you can try all you want, but you can't get around the mouth trick. So I think the ball is going to be about here based on this area. So it's kind of, there's a little bit of lightness on the trees here. It's a bit hard to tell. Is there any kind of points we could line up with? And this isn't always exactly accurate because it's like, it's a bit of a curved line I'm making. It's at about here, I think. So it's kind of from the edge of his face going up to here. So we'll try and put that on the picture. Try and remember. Keep it in remember. Right. Cool. So I think that was about that area. Maybe a bit more to the left. 3. $10.49. Something like that is what I'm getting for a first look. But I'm actually not convinced. It might be a bit higher, given that's so close to the dude's head. It doesn't really make sense. But then again, it looks like this guy is near the top of his jump. He is jumping. His knees are like going inwards. So maybe it's not too bad. But that's just on the computer. It'll be a lot easier on paper. So now I'm going to go through the paper method, and we can put the paper coordinate on the picture. So I'm going to just get a few more tickets. Like that. Then pull the picture back up. Okay, right. Let me start recording on my phone, and then we can talk through the paper. Apologies for the slightly messy mouse pad. Okay, so here we have the new picture. I've printed it out. There's some weird lines from the printer, but I also want to show you some other things that I printed out as well. So here's last week's picture, which we've just played. This one, like this point, this red cross, I could tell you the coordinate, but I think it's 1161 on the Y, so it's quite low. And so I got one that's a bit higher up and to the left, this far left, if the judges go that far. We've got this one, which is a bit lower. I seriously don't think the judges are going to go that low. But this guy's eye almost lines up with this area. This one was mine and my dad's first look at the picture, so this one with the J is my guess. And then this one below is my dad's guess. I think it would be somewhere in between, which is what I've leveled here. And these are my reference points, which I tried to translate. Again, this one, and then I got this, and then with a bit more analysis I came up with these two. So it could go here, really far out left, or here. But I actually think it's going to be somewhere in between. Again, more closer to this one. But maybe the height's a little low, so... And yeah, here's another one. As you can see, I spent a lot of time looking at this picture. And yeah, in terms of this is what I used as the circle, this 5p coin. So you put that on the picture, and you can see. I should have shaved my hand. Shit. 1 second. Okay, so 1 hand shave later. I'll put my headphones back on. Right, so 1 hand shave later, as you can see. So I used the coin, this 5p coin, to do it. And so if you take it from this guy, kind of go out, look at this guy. I got somewhere about there. Kind of a bit harder when you're already drawing lines on the picture, but I seriously think the coin method is good, and I'll show you this with a few other pictures. So before, with this one, I put all my points here. I never looked at it on paper. So with this guy's eyes, it just doesn't really line up that he's looking this far to the right, but I don't know why I put it here. This one's not the best one to use the coin with, but again, you can see the lining trick with the eyes and stuff. You can do this on the computer as well. This one I thought was really close, but so I put it here, and if you look at the full res picture, it does look like this eye is looking downwards, but the judges didn't put it that low, and this guy's eyes don't really line up with it looking that far left. So I guess I messed up, and if you put it here, it kind of makes sense, but again, it's probably not the best one. However, there are a few here which I'm not even going to go with that one. Miles away. Again, so I put my point up here for the center. And with this guy, it just looks a little high, that. So you bring it down a touch, and then all of a sudden that looks a bit more plausible. So this one was the week before last. This lining method was a bit off, but it's not the that was the second printout of that picture, I think. This one I got really close, you might be able to see. I've already shown it on my channel before, but I was literally just above it in zone 1. So if I put the ball there, what would be the centre of the ball there? He just doesn't look like he's looking that high up. So there's a bit of downwards on it, and then if I'd have done that, you can see it lines up. So full res with the would help if my phone focused. Yeah, so what I was saying is, like, it was here where I put the center, just a 20 pixels off, and it just doesn't look that high. Just touch it, move it down a touch. It's easier to do it in person. You guys can do this yourself. As you can see, my colour ink cartridge keeps going on the printer, so these ones are a little bit red. Again, here I put it a bit too high, and you can see here he's just not looking quite that high into the distance. That's what I thought, but no. So you touch it, move it down a touch, and then now that looks right with his eyes. So I really do think the coin and paper method may be it. Again, with this one, I put it here, and it just looks like this guy's looking completely past it. If you get rid of the lines and do a fresh one. So this makes more sense. This area makes more sense, but I'm not sure if you would have got the height or not. I wasn't far off with these red points, but yeah. Always do some lines on the paper or do the computer one and get a few points. And this one again, I was miles off low. But when you look at this guy's eyes, It's hard to say whether he's actually looking that, like I say, when I did my video kind of on the result, I thought, nah, it's going to be here, perhaps. But when you look at it a bit more, these eyes are looking a bit more left. So then you get this area, and then, yeah. So hopefully I'm not waffling too much. We'll go over this week's picture again real quickly in a minute. But one more thing is I wanted to talk about clusters and maximising your chances of winning. And this is something I was going to try and keep to myself, but I'm not sure I'm actually going to spend that much. So if there is anyone here who is spending a lot and you don't want to cover every single pixel and you're not sure how far away to space them, I've kind of come up with a bit of a method for a few. So basically the idea is I started off with this, which is a 7x7 box, so 49 tickets you'd have to play. You can play up to 75, so you could do up to like an 8x9 rectangle, but I think it's probably better to favour going for the Y, so find a method to have like a square with a Y as far down as you can, but still like 5 to 10 X coordinates, so that's what I was going for. So rather than doing a 7x7 square, what I said is basically do a chessboard pattern. So you have like X, then don't play a ticket, then X, don't play a ticket, X, don't play a ticket, and every X is where you play a ticket. Obviously they're really tight, but rather than playing a 7x7 square where you're guaranteed to win if it goes in that square pretty much, this is a 7x14 rectangle, and if it goes in that rectangle you're guaranteed to either win or get a runner-up. And I say that because basically every point in the middle, maybe not the outside edge of the rectangle, but every point in the middle part is basically a runner-up, because if the one where you've not played wins, you have 4 tickets surrounding it. So it's a really good strategy, I think. But then again, you may just want to play every single ticket in a square. I don't know if anyone actually does this, but this is just something I came up with. So then I tried to think of other patterns. So like maybe instead of doing X blank X blank, if you do 2 and then 2, you can do something like that in case you want to put 2 points next to each other, like a double up kind of method. But then you don't get the kind of chessboard pattern. So if one of these blanks wins, you're not necessarily guaranteed a runner-up. Not sure why my voice keeps going while I talk. I also tried to do some sort of method of flipping the pairs, so pair 3 and pair 5, so you get like a more tight cluster in the middle. But you could also just play 2 or 3 in a line. Yeah, I thought I did do another one, but maybe I didn't. But yeah, that's that strategy. So let's now have a look at the picture on paper. Okay, so here is this week's picture on paper. I might not be able to play it if I win, but let's have a look and see what looks possible. It's kind of difficult because I've got my phone stand and a torch like right above, so I'm actually just going to use a pen, I think. Where's my pen gone? Oh, it's back here. Okay. So get our thing and just go. You could probably do this with pencil or different coloured pens, or just write something not in the centre but on the edge. So that's pretty much the circle. So there, and the center of that ball would be there, pretty much. So if we now translate that onto my computer, which is literally just here, I can't, just here, let me move that off his head. So we're going to try and translate that now. About that, hard to tell. Like, this magnifier really throws me off. Maybe easier to go into Photoshop and compare the pixels, but right, so that was 3, 4, 9, 9, 10, 49. Let me just then we can see a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's not a bad coordinate there. So 3, 5, 19, 10, 16 is what we got for that. And then let me just put that other one back in. 3, 4, 9, 9, 10, 99, 10, 49. There. So it's actually not a super spread thing. Yeah, you could play a diagonal there, but I'm not sure that's actually necessary. I think that's probably a good area, but like I say, this is my first look at the picture and it might be slightly off, so do play your own game, but it's probably going to be somewhere in that magnifying glass, which is a pretty big area. But let's see if we can mark the extremes. Oop. And then basically in that area, and we'll press replay on those. So it's going to be from 3478 to 3557 on the X, and from 976 up to 1078 on the Y. That is my first look at the picture. Hope this helps you guys, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that, to be honest. There's potential it could be a little bit higher, but I think given by this guy's eye and this guy being near top of his jump, that is looking like a decent area. So yep, I'm gonna try and not make this video too long. It's nearly half an hour, so but like I said, there's a lot of information and I hope you guys can take something from it. So this has been James or Stallzy, and I'll try and get this up as soon as possible, and I'm out. Peace.